Chef Keith with Aroma Catering. Okay, here we have our Thanksgiving turkey, and I am going to spatchcock or butterfly this turkey. So what I'm doing right now is I put the bird on its belly and I'm cutting out the backbone, and then I'm going to open it up flat so it cooks evenly and gets even smoke on the top of the turkey and the bottom of the turkey. That's it. Okay, so you can see this is how it looked. Then I took the backbone out, and to get it to lay flat, cut around this cartilage right here. Get your fingers underneath it and just remove it like so. And you can add this to your stock. Now we have a turkey that will lay nice and flat and will smoke all the way around. Okay, so here in the oven we have all the trimmings from the turkey. We got carrot, celery, onion, orange, tomato, herbs, garlic, and this is 4 cups of roasted chicken stock that I had made and had in the freezer. So this is all going to be roasted together, and then I'm going to put it underneath the turkey in the smoker so that the turkey will drip all over this and it'll all roast together, and then I'll strain it, and that's going to be our gravy. Okay, next up, so we've got our turkey spatchcocked. All the giblets, bones, everything went into the stock. We set aside the livers, which we're going to saute and cool because that is the ultimate dog food. The next step is I've got 50% olive oil, 50% melted salted butter. I have a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper, and I'm going to inject the breast. I'm going to start low, and then I'm going to inject on my way out so it disperses all the way through the breast. I'm just going to add a little bit to the breast and maybe a little bit to the thighs, but the leg and thigh already has a lot of moisture anyway, and we're really not trying to do anything but add some moisture and a little, especially salt, to the inside of the meat. And we want to make sure that our turkey is going to be extremely moist when we pull it out of the smoker. I'm going to reserve a little bit of the oil and butter, and I'm going to use it to slather the outside of the turkey, and then I'm going to add a little additional salt and pepper, and the smoker is getting up to temperature, and we'll see you outside by the smoker for the next step. Okay, outside by the smoker now, you can see we have an offset smoker. You can see the flame. We're burning fresh cut cherry wood, and we're putting the gravy, as we're calling it, far away from the heat so that we can maintain a temperature hopefully of around 300 degrees. So you can see how I have the gravy down below there. I'm going to slide the grate over. Okay, I'm going to put the turkey in, leg and thigh side towards the flame, and that's so that the flame side is going to be on the dark meat because it takes a little bit longer to cook than the breast here. And a couple of quick hints on the smoker. You might think this smoker looks really nasty and dirty. There's 2 rules I have with my smoker. So you never use starter fluid or chemical of any kind, and never clean your smoker. It'll take on a flavor of its own and makes your flavor unique. Okay, so we're an hour into the cook. You can see the temperature is down to 275, dropped just a hair from the 300 we want. So this is a good time to take a peek at the turkey. So that's what it looks like an hour in. It's starting to get a little tight on the skin, which is what we want. A lot of other meats you'd start basting after the first hour because you've developed some bark, they call it. But with the turkey, all I want to do is I want crispy skin, slightly salty, that taste a little like the fresh herbs we put on. We put sage, thyme and rosemary fresh from the garden. And if you step over here and look at the gravy, you can see it's taken on a very nice color. Just a little bit of smoke and everything's nice and roasty and tender. I'm gonna press the herbs down in there. So that's looking good. That looks like it's all on track. We're gonna check it once an hour, reset the fuel, add a little bit of wood. And then at the end of the 3rd hour, I'm gonna start probing the temperature. I wanna get the temperature just barely creeping up on 160, and then I'm gonna shut the flame off and I'm gonna let it rest just a hair, and then I'm gonna carve it. So we'll be back in an hour. Okay, here we are back at the smoker, running a little over 300 degrees, which is all right. You can see our turkey is starting to split and bubble a little bit. It's firming up. It's got really nice, crispy skin, but still very edible. You can see our stock down here. Got some very nice color on the bones. It's probably been sitting down here reducing. All the fat from the turkey's been going down, dripping into it. So at this point, I think our turkey is almost done. So you can see I have 2 thermometers, because I never trust one. Even though I've calibrated them, you're probably going to get 2 different readings. So I'm going to go into the thigh meat. I'm going to get about midway, and I'm going to check the temperatures. And I want to be pushing the 160, not over. We're coming up to the 160, and we're stopping. So right now is a good time to stop the cooking. So at this point, we'll take our turkey inside, away from the heat. We'll cover it and just let it rest till we're ready to eat. We'll take our stock and we'll strain it, and we'll skim all the fat off the top of it, and then we'll reduce it just a little bit so that we don't have to use cornstarch or a roux, flour and butter, that sort of thing to thicken it. So we're going to have a fairly thin gravy, but it's definitely not going to be lacking for flavor. So we'll see you when it's time to carve. Here we are again. We have left our turkey to rest, and we are about ready to carve. I'm going to cut it down the middle, and I'm going to put it on my carving board, and I'm going to separate the leg and thigh. And then I'm going to take the breast off. Oh, sorry. Should we start up?
No.
See a little bit of smoke ring there. It's definitely not dry. When you make a whole turkey, the traditional way to carve was go the lengthwise on the breast. And what that does is it creates long, stringy pieces because the grain of the meat is this way. So if you come in like so, you're going across the grain, it's going to be much more tender and easier to eat. Look at that crisp skin stays together. And voila, we're ready to eat. For more cooking videos, follow me on social media at Aroma Catering.